Our Honorable District Collectors, better half, Mrs. Sindhura, Mr. Dilli Rao, Chairman NUDA, Mrs. Prashanti, Project Director, ICDS, Special Collector, Telugu Ganga Project, our correspondent, Mr. M. Subramanyam, parents, grandparents, my dear teachers, and my little children, a hearty good evening to all of you. A hearty good evening to all of you. Good evening. If it was my school and our kids, you know, they would have wished me back very, very loudly. So I would like all of you all to wish all of you, each other, a big evening. Good evening to all of you. Yeah, that's very nice. After listening to the little ones start this evening, it sets me into retrospect. Were we so courageous when we were 4 years or 5-year-olds? I would say no to it. The courage to address or stand in front of such a huge gathering and the whole idea of coming onto the dais is overwhelming. But our little ones take it as though they are being born with the spirit or being bestowed with the best of best. These very little children, when they walk into the school, set the very purpose of our existence in school. They are the ones who give us courage to look forward to a generation that is going to make a difference. Rainbow School always states that we are a school with a difference. And let me tell you, the difference doesn't mean academically excellent. That's only a part of our existence, only a part of our being in the education sector. For us, education doesn't stop with marks. It goes way beyond marks. It's my humble request to all our parents over here, because you would be partnering with us for a long period of 13 years in the cause of education of your child. Always teach your children the life lessons which are very, very important. I was reading Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's book, Wings of Fire, in which he greatly writes about his parents. He says that, I inherited self-discipline and honesty from my father. From my mother, I inherited faith in goodness and deep kindness. So kids always look up to parents, for they are their heroes. Good parenting is when you are a good role model. Generally, people say we need to teach values, but values cannot be taught. It can only be caught. So here I would like to share a small story about little Rabindranath Tagore when he was a child. He came down to his father one day and he said, Dad, I saved rupees 10 for you. His father was surprised and he said, how? Rabindranath said, I'm 10 years old, but when I was traveling in the train, I told the TC that I was only 9 years old and I took a half ticket. So this way, I have saved rupees 10 for you. Hearing this, his father, Debendranath Tagore, felt very sad. He immediately called his clerk and asked him to take Rabindranath back to the station, ask for an apology, and pay rupees 10 along with fine amount. You could see that Rabindranath Tagore caught values from his father. Learning should not end with oneself. It should go beyond that. We as parents need to bring in a difference in our child's life by spending quality time with the child. We say we are spending quality time with them, but we are very busy with our mobiles, watching television, or some other electronic gadget. But quality family time is switching off everything. Right now, I request all of you to please switch off all the mobile phones so that you could spend your quality time with the children over here. Listen to them and try to make sense of what they are expecting from us. I happen to read another book, very beautiful book, which I think everybody should be reading. It is How to Measure Your Life. And they have written beautifully about the quality family time, they have quoted a company as an example over here. I'm sure all of you know about Dell computers. Everybody knows about Dell computers, right? So Dell entered the foray in the early 1990s as a computer technology company. It started making simple entry-level computers at a very affordable cost. And Asus, a Taiwan company, used to supply all the small parts or circuits to Dell for assembling. In that context, after a few years, Asus came to Dell with an interesting proposition. We have done a good job in making these little circuits for you. Let us supply the motherboards for your computers, and we can make them for a 20% lower cost. The Dell analysts realized that not only could Asus do it cheaper, but it would also allow Dell to erase all the motherboard-related manufacturing assets from its balance sheet. After a few years, Asus again approached Dell and offered, we have done a good job fabricating these motherboards for you. Why don't you let us assemble the whole computer for you? We can take all the remaining manufacturing assets of your balance sheet and we can do it all for 20% less. The Dell analysts realized that this too was a win-win. Now all that Dell had to do was sit back, get the computer from Asus, brand it, and only work on the marketing. Dell closed all its units of manufacturing. And the last part came in the year 2005 when Asus decided to completely cut off from Dell and do their own marketing. Dell called for a company meeting and discussed in length and came to a conclusion that because of outsourcing, our company's culture and ethics have changed completely. So the main problem is outsourcing. How is this story related to quality family time, you can ask me? When we were young, as you all remember, we waited for festivals and family gatherings. And festivals used to be, we used to start the preparation 1 month before. I still remember when I was very young, my mom used to increase the grocery list for the month. My brothers used to go out to the flour mill, getting the flour ready to make the hots and sweets. And before a week, at home, mom used to make them, and we all sat together doing our part of work to help her. We used to have a lot of fun together. We used to fight, but we used to have a lot of fun, spend complete quality family time together. And after that, we used to pack them up, put it in tins, and put it on the attics for usage carefully. But things have changed now. Don't you all agree? We get sweets from Swagruha. We get sweets from Swagruha. That is also like on the festival day. The whole fun of making it is lost. That is, you are just missing quality family time. So if we as parents could give this kind of quality time, this is just an example which I shared with you. If we as parents could give this kind of quality time to build good, strong relationship, our family system would become strong. And when our family system is strong, our nation will become strong, as the greatness and the strongest point of our country is our family system. I call upon each one of you here to make this as your endeavor to keep our culture intact. Dear parents, to the world, you may be the person, but to one person, you are the world. Please remember this always. Thank you so much for lending me your ears, ladies and gentlemen. I will not stay in between you and your kids because I know you're all getting restless to see your kids on stage. Today is a special and remarkable occasion, one that we will remember in the year ahead. May the excitement of today enthuse you. May its enchantment surround you. May this evening's magical moments be many and memorable. Hope you will all enjoy the colorful evening painted by your little ones. Thank you so much.